go. Hey guys, what up? It's your boy Aaron coming at you with a fresh new video. In this video today, guys, it's a pretty exciting one. We're gonna be mixing it up. I did a podcast with the man himself, DWKVideos. So if you guys do not know who he is, which I seriously doubt it, but for some crazy reason, if you don't know who that is, make sure you go check his channel out. He does all sorts of crazy stuff, reactions, you name it. If you can think about it, like, he does it. You know, amazing guy's been doing YouTube since the beginning of time itself, probably before. But nevertheless, the link to his channel is in the description below, so make sure you go check him out. I'll try to put some of his other social media in there for you guys to go check out his other stuff and follow and subscribe as you will and as you please. But other than that, let's get straight into the video.
All right, what's up, guys? DWKVideos. If you're new to my channel, I make military content put on the internet for you to enjoy. If you want, social media links will be in the description down below. Today, I have a fellow Navy YouTuber here. We're going to do like a Q&A. I'm going to let him introduce himself in a second. If you guys want to follow his channel, it'll be the first link in the description right after the bio. Go check him out, of course. And then if you want to introduce yourself really quick, man.
Of course. What's up, guys? My name is Aaron. I do all sorts of military videos as well as vlogs, travel vlogs, all kinds of wacky adventures, all kinds of amazing stuff. I primarily do stuff to like help you guys out with like boot camp knowledge, hacks, tips, tricks, you name it. But that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
And then just because I know people are going to ask this in the comments because they're going to, like, they already started attacking me with corpsman questions by assuming like I was interviewing a corpsman. But like, how long have you been in the Navy? What's your job? And then like, what side of the coast are you on? I wouldn't say the exact place you are, but
yeah, I got you. So yeah, for sure. So I'm an aviation ordnanceman. So I do stuff with like bombs and all sorts of stuff. It's pretty awesome. And I'm on the East Coast, and I've been in for coming up on my first year. So I'm still new to the game, but
about to get a uniform allowance. Or do they not do that for first year anymore? They might do it to the second. I forgot how it works, honestly.
I honestly don't know.
Because I remember one time getting skipped over for uniform, and I'm pretty sure it's your first year.
Yeah. But
missing out on
yeah,
the
I just got
600.
all my stuff from boot camp, so it's like they're like, you got everything you need. You shouldn't have messed anything up. So I'm just like,
true. I never actually spent a uniform allowance on uniforms, except for because I've been with the Marines for the last 3 years, and I just got to this base, and they wear the blue side uniform that I never got issued because I had the blues and shit. That costs like, man, just like 2 sets. Oh my god, like $5,000. Like 2 sets.
Ridiculous.
It's so much. And then for some reason, if you guys don't know about the Navy working uniform, they make detachable patches instead of just sewing it on the uniform or having nothing there. They make detachable patches that are like $15 each. So you're gonna fucking lose them eventually, just to buy them again. Good way to keep the revenue coming, I guess. But I'm gonna ask him a couple questions that you guys asked in the Instagram DMs. I probably should have been more specific on the job because some of these are asking about corpsman shit. If it refers to corpsman shit, I'll just go ahead and answer it. But
good.
what Drew Doyle said, what are some of the biggest lies you heard about the Navy before you joined or heard about now? Here now, Jesus.
So I wouldn't say necessarily lies because not every recruiter is like straight to the point. There are a lot that are, but I think a big misconception is sometimes they'll say like you get to pick orders. Not necessarily, you know, so they could go into more detail and they could say like depending on whatever A school you go to, depending on academics or whatnot, there's several different things they will allow you to pick where you would like to get stationed. For instance, where I went to school, NAS Pensacola, we get to pick overseas, East Coast, West Coast. You go across the Corey Station, literally like across the street, you don't get to pick orders. Now, if you're like an IC, it goes by academics. So whenever you're going to school there, they'll generate 30 sets of orders, 20 sets of orders, whatever. And then it's like pecking order essentially. So I'll go to Japan. All right, I'll go to Guam. Okay, third. All right, I'll go to Hawaii or whatever, you know? So it's just generally like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are under the misconception that you can just say like, I mean, later on when you pick orders outside of A school, they'll do the new CMS ID or Sailor, whatever they call it now, where you can pick exact billets, but people don't realize it's just like a request. Navy at any time can go tell you to go somewhere exactly where you don't want to go. Like people are under the misconception, like, how do I guarantee I get stationed in San Diego? And it's like, you're going to Norfolk, dude.
Well, I see a lot of people that say, you know, like, I want to join and I don't want to like get stationed anywhere else but like where I live essentially. But it's like for me, like the same thing I give advice to is like, look, they'll tell you this, and I'll tell you the same thing that your recruiters will tell you. Like, you'll go to boot camp, you'll accomplish all this amazing stuff. You'll go to A school, accomplish all sorts of stuff, get like all your schooling done, and then you're gonna get to go and bounce back and forth. Home is always gonna be there. And like I've gotten to go home like twice now since I've been in. Everybody's in the exact same spot doing the exact same thing. And it's like I'm already traveling the US. I'm about to start traveling the world when I get to my carrier. So it's like kind of missing out. So I kind of feel bad for people that just want to stay home. And like, to me, it doesn't make sense. You know, you're joining to, one of the things you should be joining for is for the travel, you know, travel on their dime.
Yeah, that's like a FTS reservist. You know about them?
So I've dealt with one. He went to, I think, Texas, I believe. No?
He might be at my base, man. FTS is the wildest thing. They're like reserves, but they work full time. So they can stay at a duty station for like 8 years. And I'm like, what's the point of
Well, maybe I think maybe it's like our version of like the National Guard, essentially. Maybe it's like our version of that. I don't know. Would you consider it like that?
Yeah, in a sense. Like they're still like reserves. They advance out of reserves. They get paid out of reserves. It's just like reserve duty stations need people there during the week. So they just have dudes like manning the
More
gate.
hands. Gotcha. Yeah, I got to get that TAD in.
Out of all the time you've been in the Navy, how has it changed your life? This is from Tyler.
Oh man. Honestly, so I worked in law enforcement before I joined the Navy. I've been in law enforcement for about 5 years almost. I worked in a jail and then I switched over to a prison. Granted, I made just a little bit more than what I made now. And this is just me talking about like finances. So virtually I've had no change in my finances, and within the last 5 years of being in law enforcement, making more money, I haven't been able to save the amount of money I've been able to save here. I don't know why. It's weird. So like my finances have kind of stayed the same, but I'm able to manage them a lot better. They train you how to deal with money. Like they teach you how to do all this amazing stuff. You know, I haven't obviously been in my carrier yet, but here on base, I was able to go get on the flight deck where I'll be working and like see all sorts of like amazing stuff, like how far a fall it is if you fall off an aircraft carrier. Like, well, I'm terrified to death of heights, so it's funny. But yeah, man, there's a lot of amazing experiences. Like one of the things I'm really looking forward to, you guys might not know what this is, but a shellback ceremony. And that's like when you cross the equator, you get to do like all sorts of fun stuff, and then you get like a certificate. And yeah, but there's a lot of cool things you can do. So I haven't really experienced a whole lot, but I can't wait to experience like a lot more. You know, I've only been in for so long, but it's like, man, I've already got so many stories I can tell just from like the 9 months I've been in, you know? So it's like, it's just ever changing. You know, my life has kind of stayed the same, but it's changed completely. It's very, very hard to describe.
Yeah, it definitely brings people out of their comfort zones and at least gives them experiences that their civilian friends aren't going to have. I'm glad you brought up the jumping off the aircraft carrier thing, because I just want to
well, I didn't say
people,
jumping.
if these I get comments sometimes because I was deployed on a ship before. And they're like, oh, you know, like what happens when you like fall over and they have to go get you? And it's like, dude, like if you think you're surviving that,
You'll at least be knocked unconscious. Like that's.
Oh, for sure. And then if you are alive, you know how quick you'll get hypothermia in the middle of the ocean, especially at night?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Just to scare some of our viewers who are about to be on a ship.
But like, don't that discourage you, because like you're gonna learn. Sorry to like, I'm just gonna tack on this for them though, because like you're gonna learn all sorts of cool stuff in boot camp, like water survivability training. So at sea we wear coveralls, right? So if, for instance, you were to fall over and whatever, you're in that predicament, there's all sorts of things that you've learned. You just gotta remain calm. You can open up your coveralls and you can splash water into them. Like what that does is it creates oxygen bubbles, and then you just pull at your neck, you know, and tighten your uniform down, and you've made like a handmade life jacket essentially. You can sit there with one hand floating for hours, just not having to exert any energy. So they're going to teach you how to survive at sea.
Got to soothe the audience after I tell them they're going to die.
No, they're not going to die. Like, doesn't happen that often.
This next one from Jacob, I'll just go ahead and answer this one. Do SARC only work with Marines? If you guys know what SARC is, it's Special Amphibious Reconnaissance Corpsmen. yeah, you're only going to work with Marines. That's the whole reason you're going to the SARC pipeline. There's like 4 or 5 different spec op corpsmen. If you go SARC, you're specifically asking to go spec op with the Marine Corps. Quick little one, got that out of the way for Jacob. Difference, Violent Trey said, difference in your job before Rona or after Rona? So like basically, how has Rona impacted you? I mean, obviously you're like on hold, but it's not directly because of Rona, right?
Well, yeah, I would have already been at my ship wherever they're at, but I mean, everything basically like shut down. So like I'm assigned to the barracks, so I should be like standing watch, and they stopped putting me on watch for whatever reason. So they keep cycling out like the same 3 or 4 people, and I've told them like several times, like, hey, I could help these people out. They don't really get like a day off, so I could kind of pull my fair share. Other than that, I just sit here and don't do anything all day. I try to study some of my bibs for when I'm ready for advancement, and I just make great military content for you guys to like help you guys out with like boot camp. I just did like a big update about the Wolf Lodge or whatever, and like everything goes on there. So I'm just trying to pump out videos for you guys because I got nothing else better to do. I literally could just be sitting in the room twiddling my fingers all day. So
Sure.
not really a whole lot.
I got something that's going to scare you if you haven't seen the update by Big Navy yet about advancement coming up, since you said you were studying for your bibs.
Yeah. I mean,
So
that's over a year away, but I already know what you're going to say.
Oh, okay. You have time and rate to wait.
I'm
Okay.
getting ahead of the game.
So for people that don't know, this upcoming advancement cycle, the E3 is going up for E4. it got canceled. So they're basically going to take the approach of Notorious Advancement. Yep. So like it's going to be a package-based system. If you guys ever did like Sailor of the Year stuff, so certain quotas are going to be sent to bigger command UX, and then from there they can decimate to different departments of like, hey, we have this amount of things. Submit all the package, and a board of chiefs are probably going to sit down and say, these are the people we're going to advance. People going up for E5 and E6 because there's less of us. You just have to still take the exam. They haven't really pictured out how they're going to like social distance us while taking the exam. But besides that, yeah, E3's got screwed. Especially if you're on a small command and you're not going to get a billet.
The first classes can't even go for chief.
Yeah, but like
so they're the ones really getting the thick of the deal.
Short end of the stick.
Yeah, that's what you want to say.
I got some empathy for them, I guess.
It is what it is.
One of the questions was actually asking about that specifically if it got pushed back. So I answered that one for Ronald Gomez. Here's one from Derek. Would you rather be stationed overseas for 4 years or be deployed on a carrier for 9 months? Well, this is like oddly specific since you're going to one.
So hard for me to answer that. I'll answer it, but so for me, I wanted to go to Japan. I obviously didn't get Japan, so I wanted to live. Like I wanted to be a squadron AO, and I wanted to live, ashore in Japan. Probably still have to go on a carrier at some point. My job is primarily an at-sea job. So, I mean, put it in perspective, one of my buddies from A school just got sent to Hawaii for the next 3 years. Granted, that's freaking awesome. I told him that kind of sucks. He's like, well, why does that suck? I'm in Hawaii. I was like, pros and cons. Yes, you're in Hawaii. That's pretty awesome. You're not going to really get to travel, so you're not going to get to see anything. You're not going to get deployment pay, your at-sea pay, like all this other stuff, and you're stuck in Hawaii. Granted, like I said, it's amazing that he's in Hawaii, but I'm going to get to go see all sorts of places. Like when I'm on deployment, we'll be hitting a port maybe every month. So, I mean, or every so often.
Like Yoon.
Yeah.
Do you know Yoon Kim, the other Navy YouTuber? He was a YouTuber back in the day. He like stopped.
Actually, somebody was recommending him.
He got his deployment. So like out of my last like ship deployment, I think we had like five or six ports. He hit like 2, and he was on a carrier.
No.
Yeah, and they were all like bad places that you can't really do like touristy stuff in.
Bouncing back and forth between the same 2 places.
No, like he just had like 2. He just kept getting extended at sea for when you go past 45 days, they do these like beer on the pier BS. Like this one time in between Kuwait and our next place, we stopped at Jordan, but they wouldn't actually allow anyone off the ship. So like to compensate us, like we just pulled into the port and then drank a beer right there on the pier, which is the Big Navy's way of giving you like, we let you off the ship for a port, question mark. Like,
It's their way of taking care of the crew the best they can, I guess.
Yeah, it would be a liability to let everyone out, and I don't want to get into politics of it, but
No.
let's see. I would say the same as you. Like, I'd rather pick deployment over just like
Yeah.
a remote place overseas, unless I was offered Italy or Spain, just
Okay.
because those
That's
dudes
fair.
can, take a fucking train like
Yeah.
easily into other countries. Let's see.
Fair enough.
What was your reason for joining the Navy? Like, is there a bigger picture to this? Do you just join out of the blue?
So initially, when I was out of high school, I was trying to get in the Marines. It just didn't work out, So I kind of gave up on it. I had always wanted to be in the military, but I just figured maybe it just will never happen, it's whatever. So I just focused on what I had been focusing on, because I was always volunteering with the sheriff's office since I was like 13 years old. I was like in a junior deputy program. So eventually, I became certified, switched over to the prison. And then one night I was coming home from prison, and this recruiter kind of reached out to me. My first thought was, oh boy, here we go. So I was like, so he's like, hey man, just come and talk to me. So I was like, all right, whatever. So I don't know. As I kept thinking about it, I just got tired of doing the same thing, nothing new, no new experiences. Like here, like I don't know what tomorrow brings. I mean, obviously I do right now, the whole Rona situation, probably nothing, but it's kind of like, what's next? You're always wondering, like, what am I going to be doing next? Like it's crazy. So it's just kind of in limbo right now, but I'll get to that point. But back on track, it's more of just like, I just got tired of doing the same thing and, being in my small little town. So I figured, why not got a chance to go do something a lot of people will never get to do, and most people wish they could do. So.
True. Before I jump into the next question, I just want to caveat something. I always tell people in my videos, I never had a bigger picture, like a bigger reason of why I joined the Navy. I literally did it for fun. And I feel like no one believes me when I say that, because people expect you have to say like, oh, I did it for America, I did it for college and all that. Me and my buddies straight up were, I think I was a lifeguard at the time, and I'm still in high school. We're driving home from work, and we heard a recruiting commercial on my car radio. We straight up just fucking GPS the recruiting station just because we're like, oh, let's hear them out. We sat down and signed paperwork like that day, like for fun. There was no bigger picture behind it. Yeah, and I've been in
That's the American dream right there.
I've been in like 6 years, and when I tell people, like, they're like, why'd you join? Because every duty station you go, like when you're introducing yourself, someone's going to shotgun you, like, why'd you join the Navy? And I'll be like,
I don't know.
I don't like it, just
like
because.
It'd be fun.
Exactly. Like it's been fun. Like I don't need, like, people think I need some like really deep, like my grandfather did some shit, like
following in their footsteps type deal.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
Are you trying to get any, and this is obviously for after your next duty station, are you trying to get any specialized billets, like so like RDC recruiter, any like specialized programs you want to get into, officer programs, anything?
Well, I would like to get into like being an RDC. Just think that's like that'd be a good, like, an awesome responsibility and an honor to be able to like train the future of the Navy. So that'd be really, really cool. I do eventually plan on trying to go LDO, but I have a specific goal in mind before that time comes. So I try to just take things, like one day at a time essentially, but I still have, my plan, envisioned, I guess. But yeah, I would say probably LDO, RDC, whatever else the Navy will allow me to do. Endless opportunities.
There's like so much stuff out there, and like all these special duties people don't even know about. You can work at the USS Constitution, wearing old school Navy uniforms, and you're pretty much like a tour guide, but you get to like talk about naval heritage all day and just like chill with like civilians, like giving them tours. Like, what's up, man?
Awesome.
Here's our people think everything about the military is like so like shitty, and like people don't enjoy themselves. Like,
I'm gonna be honest, it's nothing what I expected it to be.
It's fun, right? Like there's tons of stuff to do.
Yeah, I love it. Like, there's a lot to do. It's fun. It really is fun.
Here's a question that no one asked directly in my Instagram, but I get it in my YouTube a lot, and this is actually a good opportunity to get it answered, I guess. Okay. Just because I joined when I was 18, so I don't have that perspective. But how is it joining older than the average person going to boot camp? Like, how is boot camp for you coming in with an older mindset, having real world experience outside of high school already?
It depends on the person. As far as like boot camp goes, that's what I'm referring to. Like, it depends on the person. Like, I could give a quick C story. So they got tired of beating us, so they sat us down. They're like, we're gonna do what do you call it? Like a group therapy session or whatever, like a motivational whatever. So they're like, one by one, you're gonna stand up, tell everybody about yourself, why you joined, this, that, and the other, all your who-yahs and hoorahs. So we go around the entire compartment, and our RDCs do that. You know, chief is, who's a CT? Okay, here's what y'all do. Third RDC is like, all right, who's DC? No, nobody. How about a nuke? Okay, 98% of the division is nukes. I don't know what y'all do. And our second RDC, he goes, where my AOs at? Now she's like a bodybuilding fanatic. Like,
Yeah, a lot of AOs are ripped.
I showed you pictures of her. I was like, I came from a prison. Like, I ain't afraid to fight anybody. I ain't fighting her. Like, this is not happening, bro. So she's like, where my AOs at? She's like, no, nobody. And then, so I'm behind her. So I'm like, so she turns around. I'm like, right here, petty officer. Yo, she beat the dog crap out of me on a daily basis. But so that was like my position. Plus, I was terrible as it was a disgusting recruit. But there was other people that were also a lot older than me. They were like 38s and whatnot, and they did great. Like, they almost never got yelled at. Yeah, they like never got yelled at. So it honestly just depends on the person. Just don't be a me, I would say, but anybody can do it no matter how hard your experience is. Like, my experience was very difficult. I would still go back and do it again. I love boot camp. It was so much fun. I got to A school and I was there for a couple of days. I was like, this sucks. I want to go back to boot camp. Legit told everybody they thought I was crazy, but just depends. It's case by case basis. But
yeah, I had a couple of homies who were in their 30s when we went to A school and C school, and everything was just easier for them. And a lot of people went to them for like guidance on just certain things because they were viewed as like the parents of the group. And that's not saying they wouldn't get down. Like, they'd still go down, like, out and party with us and stuff.
yeah,
It's just they got different perspectives, you know?
there's pros and cons. Like, yeah.
I think the biggest pro is you already know to handle yourself. And I feel like people who are older when they join, typically among E3s, they normally shine a lot more because they're already used to working. They know what they have to do to advance, and they're willing to do what they need to do to advance. Whereas like 18-year-olds, want to mess around with their friends when they get to their first duty station. They kind of like put it off. So I see older people advance quicker. However, the con to that is you're already older and you're starting off at a lower rank. So that's why I tell people, if you're thinking about joining, you're not going officer, just join off the bat, because the more time you have, the faster you can advance, which means the faster you can get next rank. Because there's like third classes at my last command who turned 40, and corpsman advancement sucks. Obviously, yeah. It's like less than 1% for all three petty officers. Fun fact, if anyone's out there, going to E3 to E4 is 0.7%. So out of 1,000 people, 7 people will advance to third class. Put out a little statistic there, but it's kind of hard for them to take orders from like our chief, who's like almost a decade younger than them, but they're like, 3 ranks behind them. Little like food for thought. If you guys are tinkering on the edge and you guys know you want to do this in your life before you do it, I'd say just send it now for the most part. Or if you're already in college, just go officer, man. They get paid so much more. That was pretty much like the end of the questions, man. Before we like hop off the recording, is there anything you want to say to them? Like, I'm going to link you down in the description.
Yeah, I really got nothing else to tack on. I mean, unless you got any questions for me.
Well, if you guys have questions, go to the link in the description, post it on one of his videos, because on YouTube, it doesn't matter what video you post it on. It'll show it in chronological order of it getting posted. So you can just tack it on any one of his videos. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Have a good one.
That's it for the video, you guys. Hope you guys liked the video. I'm going to just keep it really brief. A lot of the information you guys are going to need is in the description, but I hope you guys liked the video. Make sure you go check out my boy Donny. That's it. We'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.